Hello everyone, my name is Grace from Diamond Paint with Grace, and if this is your first time stumbling across my channel, hello, welcome. And if this is your first time stumbling, I would love for you to stumble, stay and subscribe by hitting the little button that you will see down there that says subscribe, next to which is a notification bell which will go ding each and every single time I upload a new video. Well, today I'm going to be doing a video that I was talking to my Patreons that I was going to do, that I've been thinking of doing for a long time. I have been diamond painting myself for about just over 18 months now, and been a YouTube creator since January of this year being 2021. And I haven't done one of these videos before, and it's going to be kind of like my top tips for new diamond painters, but also a little bit of a retrospective about things that I've learned in my journey, all sorts of things. So it's going to be a mishmash of top tips, things that I've learned, and perhaps even mistakes that I might have made. In no means is it meant to be a preaching, that this is the correct way or the only way. This is just what I have found, and I thought, what a great time to share with you guys my thoughts on a few things as far as diamond painting goes. So just to get things started, I'm working on a painting by Create. I'm going to try and do it like that. No, is it going to? Yep, Create, Love, Share. This is licensed artwork. It is by Chuck Pinson. This is the painting that I'm working on. It's called Sea Garden Cottage. I'm working, if you're interested, in this section here. Okay, this is the section that I'm working on, and it is a square, and dimension wise it is a 70 by 55 centimeters. I had to scroll back, I had to scooch back my chair to look at the sizing. I've turned the light pad off just so that, can I zoom you in? That's the thing. Yeah. So it is a square. My placement isn't the best. However, we'll talk a bit about squares and rounds as I go on in the video. It's not the best. I'm not fussed, because when the light pad is off and I'm looking at it with the naked eye, it looks awesome. It looks awesome. All right. So let's begin. Let's get you into position. Okay, so, oh my gosh, so where are you at? Have you started diamond painting? Are you working on your first diamond painting? This is a video, I guess, for everybody, and it could be for those that are totally experienced diamond painters, more so than what I am, in which case I would love for you to, I would love for you to share your input and your thoughts and comments on your top tips, if I don't cover any of them, or if you have different ways of attacking things or approaching things. So let's begin. Let us begin. Oh, and of course before we begin, we're going to throw love out to the Patreons, aren't we? The Patreons of the channel, those that have bought me a coffee. I'm so sorry, peeps. You know I love you. So let's throw some love out to them, and let's come back to this. Okay. See you on the flip side, guys. Okay, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. There are millions, well, I won't say millions, but there's been a few videos, I would think, on YouTube with regards to what people's personal top tips are when it comes to diamond painting. And as I was saying before, it could be that you have just heard of it today for the first time, or in the last week or so, and you have not yet purchased your first diamond painting. It could be that you are a seasoned diamond painter. Either way, I thought I'd put this video together. As I said, it's going to be a bit of a retrospective, if you will, on my experience, what I've learnt, what I wish I had known way back when. And if you get even just one little tip out of it, or one different way of thinking about things out of it, then That would be awesome. And if you don't get anything, oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But let's begin. All right. So I think the first thing that most of us in the community that have been diamond painting for a little while can all agree on is that one of the first things to always look at very, very carefully when you are choosing a diamond painting to work on is that size matters. And you know, this is one time, girls and boys, that size truly matters. Yep, throw away the old adage that size doesn't matter. Yep, no, this time it matters, and it matters tremendously. It matters tremendously. The reason being is that we are dealing with diamonds or drills. These here in our what we are laying down. So diamond painting is essentially laying down these teeny tiny little drills or diamonds, sometimes they're called, okay, onto a pre-printed canvas that's already got the picture on there. And you, as I kind of like to say, you like bringing it to life with sparkle and twinkle and everything like that. Okay, so size matters because a photograph or an original painting, generally speaking, when you look at it on a computer screen, on your phone, on your tablet, wherever it is that you're looking at it to purchase, is exactly that. It's a photograph, it's a painting, it's original artwork. Okay, when it is diamond painted, not every single color can be encapsulated when it is printed, okay, on the canvas. And with that being said, because not every single shade in the universe can be printed, there are only, I think it's 400 and, I should have done my homework and my research, and I didn't, just over 400 different DMC colors. Okay, and when we talk about DMC, these are the colors that are based on the cross stitch work on the cross stitch charts. For those of you that are familiar perhaps with cross stitching, they're all the different colors that are available, and that's what these colors are based on. So you can imagine that with the gazillion different shades that are possible in the world and only 400 odd to play with, a painting is never going to translate exactly into a diamond painting. Why does size matter? Good question, and I'm glad you asked. When there is a painting that's got a lot of detail in it, a lot of detail, and let's for example, talk about Josephine Wall, and I'll try and insert an example of a Josephine Wall picture here, okay? You can see that there is a tremendous amount of detail, The smaller the painting in, say for example, the one that you're looking at the moment, the less detail you will get when it's translated or converted into a diamond painting. Okay? It's just impossible to get that level of detail. So the rule of thumb, in my opinion, okay, is when you are going for a smaller, or what I like to call bite-sized diamond painting, so something like a 30 by 30 or 30 by 40 or even up to a 50 by 50, which is edging into perhaps a medium size, the subject matter needs to be simple, it needs to be big, it needs to be the main focus. If you are going to try and diamond paint something that's got lots of little detail and lots of busyness, you will be highly disappointed, highly disappointed in the final product. And there's nothing worse, and I am a part of a few Facebook groups, and I'm going to put it out there, and there is nothing worse that I see, and no disrespect whatsoever, but you can tell that people have not been told previously or haven't researched the fact that when they're posting up their very first ever diamond painting and it's really pixelated, and they've posted underneath, I'm so upset and how awful it looks and so on and so forth. And it comes down to, you know, it's not so much perhaps the diamond painting itself, sometimes, only sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. It comes down to the fact that it was the wrong size for the subject matter. Okay, so size does matter. Now that's not to say that if you've never picked up a diamond painting pen and you've never done a diamond painting, that you need to go out and do a big monster like the one that I'm doing here for your first one. No, 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 no. Not at all. Not at all. Unlike your girl Gracie here, whose first diamond painting was a 50 by 65, and that was a huge, that was a huge risk. It wasn't a financial risk, but it was a huge painting for me to tackle first time round. But Gracie here, she goes hard or goes home. And luckily for me, I chose a painting that did have the right ratio of what the subject matter should have been for the size that I chose. And in my opinion, it worked out beautifully. It worked out really, really nice. Okay. So the reason I'm bringing it up is that I see far too many comments or posts of people who are disappointed, and it was like, oh, I wish I had have known. And it's like, oh, okay, all right, well, that was a bit of a red flag for me. It's like, well, yes, size does matter. Size is extremely important. Not all companies will offer a variety of size. Okay, you sometimes have a choice in choosing size, and if you can go big, both financially and time wise and so on, then go bigger. Or choose a painting that is, if it's your first time dipping your toe in the pool, choose a painting that's simple and see if you actually enjoy the actual time that you are going to spend diamond painting. Now, both have their pros and cons. A smaller painting will give you a quicker return on a finished product. And if you've been around on my channel a little while, you will have noticed that my first unboxings were all these humongous paintings. And in recent months or so, I have been getting a few of the bite-sized ones so that I can inject them in between the big ones and have that sense of accomplishment, and that I've finished a product and I can display it or give it away as a gift or whatever the case may be, or show you guys what a finished product, what that particular finished product may look like. So from that perspective, financially, psychologically, so to speak, and when I say psychologically, if you're working on a huge painting, burnout can be a real thing, and you could lose interest in what you're doing because you're just bored of it. You just get bored of it. So there's a lot of different little factors that come into play. I guess under this topic, I think that it's probably the biggest thing, that although I hadn't made that mistake when I first started, along my diamond painting journey, and this is where a bit of a retrospective chat comes in about all this, along my diamond painting journey, when I have actually either purchased diamond paintings or I've been given them for PR and I've selected them myself, the sizing has been too small, and you can see that even without the diamonds being placed, it's going to be too pixelated and the detail will just not come out. There are other instances, and I've had a few of those also, where it could be a case of trust the process and hope that it will come out, that it may just be okay. And I had a recent one, and you guys haven't seen that yet, or you may, I don't know. It depends what order I load up the videos. That will come up. So that's the first thing. Okay. And I'm doing these in no particular order, no particular order whatsoever of importance. These are just thoughts that I had scratched out in preparation for today, and just thought I'd share them with you. Okay, so the next thing would be, again, if you're new to the world, it's good to know, and you should know, that there are two types, actually three really, categories or types of diamonds or drills, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Okay, these are squares. I'll show you up here. These are square diamonds. Okay, I shook them around so they're not really laying out flat too well. Okay, these are squares. Okay, so these are squares, and these, let me get I'll get a spoon out. Oh, they're squares also. Where are my round ones? Ah! Bear with me 1 second. Let me just go grab them. And these are round. So these are round ones, and these are square. Okay, maybe a bit difficult to tell in the camera, but you can hopefully see. Okay, now when I first started, I started with rounds because I didn't even know squares existed at the time. My first diamond painting came from my local newsagent. I tell the story all the time. It was like, okay, $20 for this canvas, and I'm either going to like it or not like this craft. If it's only $20, I'm ready to give it a go. And it only came in rounds. And of course, let me just get these in. That's why I don't use this tray too often. What are you going to get, or what do you like? Well, that's a really good question. The community is very much, there is no rhyme or reason. There is no right, there is no wrong. Everyone has a personal opinion and a personal preference. It is what you enjoy doing most. Now, I happen to know of a few people that absolutely hate rounds. Indeed, one of my friends who I chat to quite often, she's told me many times that she gets bored with rounds, and you know, they're just boring for her. Then I have others that when it comes to squares, they won't touch them with a 10-foot pole, because unlike me, that can handle them being a little bit wonky at this point, and then they'll end up straightening up at the end, they just don't enjoy the fact that they end up being a little bit crooked and so on and so forth when they're laying them down. And also, they do take longer. Square diamond paintings do take a lot longer to complete, because you do need to be a lot more precise. Okay, the positive is, though, that you do get more detail, because being squares, all the diamonds do butt up one against the other, and when the light is off, see how you see all this gap here? You don't see it like that. Okay, so it's a more solid, detailed finish, if you will. Okay, so what's going to be right for you? Well, I put a lot of thought into how I was going to approach this topic, and this is the way I see it. I started with rounds, and maybe after the first day or so of starting my diamond painting, I got onto YouTube to see, hey, I wonder if there's any information out there about this craft. Well, yeah, that would be yes. There's a massive amount. There's a tremendous amount of creators out there. And I discovered people talking about squares, and then I started joining social media groups such, Facebook, and listening to chats and lives, and reading comments how people were petrified of squares, and that scared the living bejeebies out of me. And I'll be honest, they did. It was like, oh yeah, no, I can't. There's no way I'd have the patience, and so on and so forth. I guess it's kind of like, I don't know, I was thinking about it, and the best analogy that I could come up with, and don't laugh at me, if your first one is going to be a square, you may end up liking it. You may end up loving it. And then you might end up trying a round second and hate it, or vice versa. I guess the analogy that I came up with is, for example, I have my cousin who's, beg my pardon, she's got twins, but her firstborn was a single child, and then she had twins, and we often say that, you know, had she have had the twins first, she would not have known any different and would have just handled it and done what she had to do. The difficulties in having twins. I know it's a really funny analogy, but it was the best one that I could think of. So she didn't know any better, is what I'm saying. And she just did what she had to do to get through. Now, that's not to say that, I mean, you could be scarred for life and never pick up a diamond painting pen again if you start with squares and absolutely hate it. So my advice ultimately is I would start personally with rounds and then give squares a go. Okay, give it a go. You got nothing to lose. And when I say nothing to lose, don't go buying a giant painting, because as I did mention before, they do take longer, so you don't want to think that you're spending hours doing a painting and not getting absolutely anywhere with it. So pick a smaller one. Remember what I said earlier, pick one that's going to have very minimal detail in it, and just check it out as far as the experience goes. Okay, that's my best advice on that. I'm fortunate that I did, all my paintings were round. And my first square painting was also a Chuck Pinson. It's not yet complete. It's been put away. And that is a Chuck Pinson also, believe it or not, from Diamond Art Club. And I was nervous as all get out when I kitted that up and started it, because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, because funny story, I have got so many square paintings in my stash, so many purchased ones, right? Purchased ones, and I purchased them without even having done a square before in my life. So we're going to get to that topic in a second. I'm one of these lucky people, I guess. I feel it's lucky, or blessed. I feel I'm blessed that my enjoyment from this craft comes from both squares and rounds. I can do both. If I had to pick ultimately which one I prefer most, I would have to definitely say rounds, because they just work up so much quicker. You get a quicker return. But that's me. You do you. You will find out what you like best. Okay, so, and then I did mention that there were three, so squares, rounds, and then you've got the special drills or special diamonds, and that's when you start looking at, for example, your crystals or your special diamonds, and they're all different special shapes and things like that. Quite often, more often than not, they're from budget companies. Sometimes the more premium companies will bring out paintings that will have a few special shapes and things in there as well. Okay, but they're basically your three there. Okay, and if you go back through my videos, you will find that, again, in the latter part of the last few months, I've been showcasing a few special canvas or special diamonds, special shape, I can't get my words out, special shapes on my channel. Oh my gosh, Gracie. So when talking about the stash and so on like that. Okay, that's a great segue into the next sort of area. I very quickly learned, and as you progress in your journey, and those that have been around for a long time can also attest to, I'm sure, okay, I am the first to admit that there are really two facets to this craft. One is the actual diamond painting itself, and for some, not all, but for some, and probably, might I dare say, for most, there's also the collection of certain aspects, one of which being, and probably the biggest of which being, the paintings itself. Okay, it is a real thing. It's a real thing. We get caught up in the frenzy, the feeding frenzy of when new releases come out, especially from premium companies. And I must say, the premium companies, their marketing strategies are pretty smart. They're pretty spot on. They'll put out their teasers throughout the week. They will announce that it's going to be available on a certain time, on a certain date. They will have their affiliates do pre-release or sneak peek videos. It's all very, very smart. I'm not having a go at anyone. It's just, as consumers, when we are in this world and we have those videos and those advertisements there, it's a case of, oh my gosh, I need it. It has to be a part of my life. I can't do without it. It's everything. My life is not worth living if I don't have that diamond painting. And I'm not having a go at any of my subscribers whatsoever here at all. I have often thought, oh my gosh, I need, a particular diamond painting in my life, and how, because of the way it speaks to me, and or I love the colors, or I love the sentiments, or it reminds me of a loved one, or it reminds me of a particular place, or all sorts of things. The emotions that it evokes within you. And we get caught up. You get caught up. You really do. Especially when it's companies that have these sneak peeks and releases that are coming up, and they have a whole week to build up that anticipation, that advertising, and creates that competition amongst a whole bunch of crafters who want that painting. And so what inevitably happens is that we, and I say we because I'm in that too, we have that sense of, oh my gosh, I need it. I'm going to miss out. I have to have it before it gets sold out, and I won't be able to take a breath if I can't have that in my stash. And we're reading everyone else's excitement, and we're watching everyone's YouTube sneak peeks, or not even if they're sneak peeks, it could be just someone's unboxing. Okay, and it could be that YouTuber's presentation, their excitement about it, or the story as to why they like it, and we get caught up because we have a connection with that YouTuber on a different level, and all of a sudden we need that same painting. Okay, and I keep saying we because I'm in there too. I've curbed mine more so in the last say in the last six or so months. I recognized what I was doing, and I am a lot more particular with the paintings and very specific with the paintings that I choose. Pardon me. However, I see it all the time. In the sense, when I say I see it all the time, I see the comments on social media and everything. And this is, again, it's not a judgment. It's not at all. People, as much as would enjoy doing the diamond painting, you may end up being that person that also enjoys a collection of the diamond paintings and put them away for a stash. Hey, I've got a stash, and hence why I'm saying no judgment. I've got a stash. I do. Am I going to get to do them all? Probably not. What I'm going to do with them now, I don't know. It's yet to be decided. I was talking about this with my Patreons the other day. But that's not what we're discussing here. It's a matter of, I guess, when you're looking at a painting and so on, a painting is lovely to admire. Someone's artwork is always lovely to admire, and it's beautiful that even if you're looking at it on a diamond painting website, it's lovely when you think about it that it is evoking some sort of emotion within you, because that's what an artist does. They're painting to evoke whatever that emotion is, to create a connection with their audience on some level. And if you've been moved to the point that you want to have that diamond painting in your stash for whatever that reason, whether it is to collect, whether it is to one day paint, or whether it is to start immediately, that's the whole idea behind what I would think. That's one of the things that what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, Gracie. Inspires pardon me, an artist, because they see something within their mind and they want to translate it onto canvas or into a painting, and then share it with the rest of the world in the hope that the rest of the world sees something in their artwork that moves them. And that's where us as diamond painters, we get moved. Pardon me. We get excited, we get moved, we become emotional, and it's an emotional thing. Now, let's extend that thought just for a minute. Does that emotional feeling then translate into you really, really wanting to diamond paint it? And the reason that I bring that up is this. Let's pick an example. Now, I've said quite often, and again, it's no disrespect, it's just the way that it is, on my channel, that I am not really, personally, I'm talking about me, so not pointing any fingers at anyone other than at myself, right? I will always admire from afar the artwork of the, I don't know how to respectfully say it, but like the cartoony sort of girls, okay? JBG, who is it? All the ones that do the cartoon type girls, yeah? I can admire someone's unboxing of them. I can admire their paintings on the website. I can do all of that. Will I diamond paint them? No. I like the paintings. I like where they're going with, I can see where they were going with their paintings and how they've managed to incorporate themes of whether it be fairy tale people, the Snow Whites, the Alice in Wonderlands, all of that sort of thing. I can see what they're trying to do. And I like that. I think that's very, very clever and innovative. Would I buy one just because everyone else is to diamond paint? No. Okay. If you've been around long enough, you probably would have noticed landscapes are my jam. And that's my jam. And it's not everyone else's jam either. But I gravitate towards landscapes more than anything. Landscapes or beautiful, just things that they need to really, really move something within me. Really, really move something, have meaning behind them. So I guess what I'm trying to say is be mindful, because it's very easy and it's no judgment, because we've all been there. We've all been there, me included. And sometimes I still get that twitch to go, I have to have it before it gets sold out, and this and that and everything else. But just be mindful that can happen. And all the long-term diamond painters that are watching, you guys back me up on this one. True? Come on. You know it's true, and you don't have to agree. My channel is such that you don't have to agree with what I say. But if you disagree, the only thing I do ask is that you do so disrespectfully. No, Gracie, that you do so respectfully. The collection part of things is part of this craft. It's well known, nothing to be ashamed of, and don't ever let anyone tell you different at all. Okay, you are allowed to. You are allowed to, and you should not feel guilty for that. I guess I'm just bringing it to the surface, and if you're new to the craft, be aware. Just be aware, and there's a word that I've been trying to think of all afternoon for this, and I guess it's be specific, be intentional. That's it. That's the word. Be intentional with your selection. Be sure that it's one that you truly, when you're going to spend your money, you are truly going to, like I said, it doesn't have to be today, tomorrow, whenever, but that you are going to truly enjoy. Okay. Now, for those that don't know already, I live in Australia, so we live far away from from all the international diamond painting companies. We do have some really great ones here in Australia, obviously, and I am a supporter and an advocate first and foremost for my Aussie mates who have got companies here, especially those that have licensed artwork. However, I do certainly purchase from overseas as well for a number of reasons. I like to diversify my canvases, my companies. And there are also companies that have exclusive rights to particular artists that I can't get anywhere else. So, too bad, so sad. I live on an island in the southern hemisphere that's far away, and it takes a little bit longer than most for us to get our products. But that doesn't dissuade me as a creator from sharing with you my first thoughts and impressions when I get it. It could be months after. I've got sitting next to me a box of Diamond Art Club paintings. I think there's 5 or 6, maybe even 7 in there. But I don't think any of them are new releases, and even if they are, they've already been unboxed and shown, I'm sure. I know that I've not seen any of the ones that I've chosen because that's not the type of creator I am. I don't like to watch other people's unboxings if I ever have an intention of perhaps one day buying a painting. But I digress. What I'm trying to say, I guess, tying that little segment up in a little bow is be aware that you could get caught up in a frenzy. And there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. I guess the conclusion to that is I wish I had known back then that with the premium companies, when things sell out, geez Louise, guess what? They come back. Unless, of course, they out and out tell you that they're not coming back. And then that's when you've got to make your hard, fast decision to know whether or not you're going to purchase it before it's gone forever. Oh, and just as a little side note, guys, just as a little side note, and this is along the hints and tips, be mindful when you're purchasing on social media groups from people destashing. Just be mindful. I see a lot of people getting screwed over too many times, and it's just sad. It's just really, really sad. So be sure that if you're purchasing a destash, that do your research as best as you can, I suppose, as best as you can. When you're purchasing, and don't fall for these overpriced gouging prices on eBay for paintings that are no longer available. Oh my gosh, you're getting ripped off like there's no tomorrow. I mean, you spend your money where you like, but I'm not going to spend $800 on a painting just because it's no longer available. Hey, nah. Nah. That's just my opinion. So with that being said also, so another hint, watch YouTube videos. Watch them. And watch and just keep flicking through, putting your search words on whether it's a particular artist you're interested in, a technique, a particular company, and watch YouTube videos. Watch the creators and see, and you'll find, I mean, you're watching now, so obviously you're on YouTube. You're watching me, and I do thank you for that. I really do thank you. I appreciate that, your support in watching my videos. But if you're first time here and you're wondering, who's this chick, Gracie, what's she flapping her gums about? I'm encouraging you. You know, I don't have all the answers on my channel. And even if I was presenting one way of doing things, there are others that have got their views on things, and from that you will end up fine-tuning your best way to approach things. So that's why we do these videos. Oh, well, that's why I should say I do these videos, and I guess most of my friends that I know also do them, is because we want to impart and share our journey and our experience with you all out there. And let me tell you something. I am still learning to this day. To this day, I always pick up hints and tips and this and that and everything else from others that I watch, to say nothing of the enjoyment that I get from watching them as well. Okay, so watch them. When I know that when I do my unboxings, for example, you know, I try and provide a level of detail so that you can make yourself an informed decision as to whether or not, if you were on the fence about buying a painting, whether or not it's a painting you would either go for or not go for. A perfect example, pardon me, a perfect example is, and I have unboxed on my channel before, and I didn't realize this and this was for a PR for a company, and I didn't realize this when I chose them off the company. They had a lot of good points as far as a company goes. However, when I unboxed the paintings had guide circles. Yeah. You don't know that by looking at a picture on the website. You really can't tell. More often than not, they will not advertise the fact that they come with guide circles. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, guide circles, so how can I pick this up without tipping it everywhere? So this is the canvas, and it's going to be really, really difficult. But if you're new to diamond painting, these are your symbols. Can I? Oh, I can. All right. So these are the symbols here. A guide. This does not have guide circles, but a guide circle is a circle that is marked, demarcating around each of the symbols. Okay. Now, some people like them. Most people don't. Or should I say it's a half-half? I don't know the statistics. I'm not a statistician. However, I know, and I fully expect that when I did that unboxing, that the comments were, I love the painting, but no, I'm out because of the guide circles. Now, that's a way for you to get information. That's just one example, okay? That is one example. If you're starting out, it's quite often said that most people that are starting prefer or need guide circles, which is perfectly fine. I've done paintings, and I do have paintings still in my stash that have got guide circles, and I will do them. They don't particularly bother me, okay? But I know that they bother a lot of people. That's just one example. It could be a creator's experience with a specific company as far as customer service. It could be a creator's experience in using a storage system or on a specific painting itself. Okay, so watch YouTube. You're not going to get any better I want to say education, but enlightenment maybe, or guidance is another word, than watching those that, like us, who are put ourselves out there with our opinions and our experiences of a particular product, item, company, whatever the case may be. And that's not to say that my experience with a particular item or person or company or whatever is going to be everyone's. I can only share with you mine. Okay? And that's not to say that it's going to be a bad one, a good one, or otherwise one for you. But it gives you information. And it allows you just a little bit more information with regards to that. So watch. And if you've got when I say a good relationship with a creator, or if you're confident enough to ask and you're really, really desperate, want to know a particular technique, or if they can show something, or whether it be unbox a particular painting, or if they can show you a technique or answer a few questions, ask. You know, you can always ask. One of my favorite sayings is the answer is always going to be no until you ask. I know a few of you have asked me to do a couple of videos, and I haven't gotten there, and they haven't gone ignored. I know I've been asked to show how to, two topics that have come to mind that I know that some of you have asked is, how do I Gracie bling bling my paintings? How do I know how to do it? Okay. And what I mean by that is, how do I enhance, or how do I know where to put special diamonds and all that sort of thing? And that will come. The other topic was if I could do a tutorial, and these are already out there. These are not topics that are not already being covered by other people. So I'm not going to be bringing anything new to the table other than my way of doing things and my thought processes and so on. But the other topic was, can I do a video on how do I check for stolen artwork? Okay. So those two will be coming up on the channel at some point soon. But they're the sort of things that, as someone who's new to the craft, they're the sort of topics that when I say watch YouTube, you won't get caught out. You won't get caught out because you will hear all of us talking about the size, the pixelation, and you'll quickly learn that when you're shopping for your own, to be mindful of choosing, the right size for the painting that you're looking at. You're going to hear, not all of us, some of us, I'm one of them. I don't preach, and I'm not going to get into this minefield of a conversation, but I will always say that if I'm doing a PR for a budget company, to be mindful that they will have, inevitably, they will have stolen artwork on there. And for you to do your checks and balances and research as to whether or not what you're looking at purchasing is indeed stolen artwork, if that is of importance to you. And I always stipulate it and I phrase it like that, because it is not for me to tell you that it should be important to you. I do not live your life. I do not have your budget. I do not have your mindset. I, however, have the platform to advise you that there is stolen artwork, and then whatever choice as an adult you make is up to you. Kind of makes sense? So as I said, it is a minefield of a conversation. It divides the community, and if you're new to diamond painting, you start getting into all the social groups and so on like that, you will see that the topic will flare up its head every so often. Okay. And I pretty much keep out of it. I know that I will not ever intentionally show stolen art, not intentionally ever. I try to the best of my ability to always do my checks and balances before showing anything on my channel. That's my choice, and that's not any judgment against anyone who doesn't. Not at all, not at all. Everyone has a choice. So it's really, really important that, and they're the sort of things that you'll learn by watching other, you know, my channel, other people's channels, and all that sort of thing. And none of us, I'm sorry to say, well, let me just rephrase that before I maybe get some people's noses out of joint. I will say I am definitely no expert. Okay, I am not an expert in diamond painting, not at all. I am a diamond painting chick just like most of you out there. And if you're just starting, guess what? I was exactly where you are today, just starting once upon a time. And how I have come to be sitting here doing a square painting, talking with you on YouTube. I mean, doing a YouTube channel, that's a whole different conversation. But how I've come to learn what I've learned is by watching, learning, listening, doing things by trial and error. And quite often on my channel, you'll see me do things by trial and error with you. And it's like, okay, well, I've never done it before, but you're going to come and watch me stuff it up if I'm going to stuff it up. And then that way you don't stuff it up if you do the same, if you go get the same product. See what I mean? So that's where YouTube certainly comes into its own. Okay, and you will certainly find those creators that you will gravitate to more. You'll find those that you will connect with more, that speak in a way that you enjoy listening to them. And everyone's different. Everyone brings something to the table. You know, everyone brings something to the table, and everyone enjoys a different type of or they can enjoy just one sort of creator. Up to them. I've got different types. That's who I am. Anywho, so we've covered the collection bit and all of that. So along with the collection of A, B, C, D, E, F, all the things. If you're starting out in diamond painting and you've already started watching a few videos and you're looking at me even now and you're thinking, well, I've gotten myself a kit, my first diamond painting, and what's Gracie using? What's this big purple tray and what's this big fat pen she's using when all I've gotten is something, oh, mamma mia, something like this, okay? This is your basic toolkit. This is your basic of all basics. There's no baggies in there. There is simply what is called typically either a boat or a tray, a plate of wax, and a pen. And there's not even a squishy or a thumb grip in there. Nothing. That's your basics. And that's all you've got. Well, guess what? If you listen to my videos, when I do an unboxing, I will always say that is all you need to start doing your diamond painting. Okay? And that's all you need to dip your toe in, see if you like it. Now, if you find that you are quickly falling in love with this craft and that you want to continue, then I would highly suggest that's the point that you perhaps look at what I would call either enhancing your tools or upgrading your tools. And it does not have to be an expensive exercise at all. At all. Okay, you can get some really good bargains on Etsy or AliExpress, and all you need to do is type in the diamond painting accessories, diamond painting pens, diamond painting trays, all of that sort of thing, and then you can upgrade. Now, the two things that I would first, well, these are the things that were in order of upgrade for me. The first thing that I upgraded was my tray. Now, it wasn't this tray that I upgraded to, but it was a bigger tray. So you can see the difference. Okay, this is what you get in your normal everyday kit. This is a tray that actually my offspring, my son, made for me on his 3D printer. Okay, and this is what I use. You can see that it's nice and big. And you can get all sorts of shapes, all sorts of sizes, but just go bigger. Okay, just go bigger. You'll thank me for it. Just, yep. You will say, thank you, Grace. Yep. The next thing I would do is, you don't, again, have to go all out fancy pens, but I would definitely get something a bit bigger. Now, the very first, let me see if I can find it, fancy upgrade of a pen that I ever got was this one here. Okay, and sometimes I will still pull it out. It's my Diamond Art Club acrylic pen. Okay, the reason that it is way more comfortable than this is this will cramp you up. It will, guys, just trust me, it will cramp you up. Okay, this has got the contour there, it's thicker, and it will not cramp your fingers up. And then of course I've just recently, maybe in the last 3 months, gotten, and this is where I was talking before, I told you I wasn't innocent in any of this. I've become a little bit addicted to the specialty resin hand-turned homemade pens. You know, it's not a bragging point. That's one bucket, and then, well, not bucket, they're like jars, if you will, and these are the other two here. Okay, so, but I waited nearly 18 months to start that. But that's me. People start collecting them straight away. That's you, that's them. Hey, whatever works for you. Okay, so you can see that I'm using this one here. I can't remember the exact name of it, which kind of works in with the colors that I'm working on in the house here. See how that works? And then I've got this blue one. If I can be bothered, I will change it over for the sky here as well. So you've got that. Okay, these are the two must-haves if you're going to stick around and you're going to give it another red hot crack and tackle some other diamond paintings after you've had a play with your first one. They are the first things I would highly recommend you investigate in upgrading. Okay, they will be game changers for you. They will. You just need to kind of trust me on that. You really do need to trust me on those. Okay, even if, and I did it for the longest time, I did massive paintings using this with squishies on them. Even if you just do that, okay, just trust Auntie Gracie on that. But the tray, a definite must. You will thank me. Okay, and then you've got all the peripherals as well. So you've got, for example, cover minders. So this is a cover minder that was gifted to me by the beautiful Sandra West. It is a magnet. Okay, see that? It's a magnet that she actually sent for me, which is a set of angel wings, and it was sent with a purpose in mind, and I treasure this. I absolutely treasure it. It's beautiful. It's always never far from me. I'm not needing it on this section because I've actually ripped the plastic completely off as I work on this section, but it's never far from me. But that's another collection that people have in this craft, and you can. Why not? I've actually just recently myself, to support two of my fellow creator friends and their Etsy shops, placed some orders with both Snap Crafters Cafe and Shine Like a Diamond, and I'm not sure of her Etsy shop name. I just went there straight away and purchased something, or a whole bunch of things. That was a fun experience. And I have some cover minders coming from these lovely ladies. Okay, they are not necessities. Okay, they're not necessities. I'm talking to the new people in the room. Find out first if you like the craft, and then have had it, go for it, knock yourselves out, and I will list those companies that I'm talking about in the comment section below. Please go support them. They are stay-at-home mums who run Etsy shops and have beautiful cover minders, absolutely beautiful and stunning cover minders. I can't wait to get mine. And knock yourselves out. And the way that, if you don't know what a cover minder is, because I didn't even explain that. What a goose. So this is your cover, or your plastic cover on here. Okay, let me put it down the right way, Gracie, before you muck this up. Yep. So if this was folded back, the idea, say, to keep this nice and flat, you would take the bottom part like this, flick it underneath, and that See, it minds your cover. See, it holds it back so that you don't have to worry about it, okay? But as I said, because I've taken all of this off, I do not require it at this point in time. So there's that. Then, of course, you can talk storage until the cows come home. Sometimes your diamonds will come in little baggies. I personally cannot work out of little baggies. When I did my very first diamond painting, I'm sure like most, I was not going to spend a butt ton of money on anything until I knew that I was going to enjoy it. And so all the individual little bags, I would pour them into my little green tray and a little bit at a time, and then I would be taping those bags and putting them aside. Once I knew that diamond painting was going to be a part of my life, literally, I then expanded and got jars and everything. And I am actually running a series on my channel. And if you have a look at my videos, I should actually work out how to do playlists. I think that will help you guys out. But I'm actually running a complete series on the quest for the perfect diamond storage, and I think I'm up to episode 8, and I have, I think, 3 or 4 more storage systems that are still coming, and I'm just testing them all out, and different people like different things. There is no rhyme or reason. There's no right or wrong. It's what works for you. It's what works for you and whatever painting it is that you're working on at the time, and what you prefer. Case in point, I don't like, personally, these small Tic Tac containers. I can't work out of them. They're just not my jam. However, I know plenty that absolutely love them. At the moment, I'm working out of the Elizabeth Ward storage containers. These are edging to be my top 1 and 2 favorites. Okay, this type of container, I'm definitely loving it. And that's what I'm working out of. Again, things that can be upgraded once you are confident that you are going to hang around. Okay, so following on from what we were talking about, the Etsy shellers and stay-at-home mums and everything like that, please do remember, this is kind of something that I learned very quickly, and not a lot of people do realize this, that some, not all, but most Etsy shop owners are mum and dad shops, you know, like small businesses run from home. They're people just like you, just like me, who are either making something or putting together something or whatever it is for our craft world. They do it in their time, in their spare time, in between maybe a full-time job, being a parent, whatever the case may be, and they have an Etsy shop. They do the best that they can, okay? Once you get a shipping notification, if you do purchase from an Etsy shop owner, or even a seller of a diamond painting from a website, just be mindful that they're not all massive companies. That's one. And two, once your shipping notification has come through, please don't scream at the companies or the owners about the shipping delay. It just breaks my heart when I see that happen, because you know what, guys, think about it. If you send someone a package, you personally are sending someone a package, say for example their birthday, okay, or whatever the case may be, and their birthday comes and goes, right? Is it your fault? Is it your fault if you've sent it in a timely fashion but the shipping and the postage service is just delayed? It's not your fault. You've sent it in a timely fashion. So be kind, yeah? Just be kind to those that you're purchasing from. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. All right. Gosh, I've rambled a lot. But anyway, if you're still around, there's a little bit more to go. What else is there to know if you're new to diamond painting? There is something called poured glue and double-sided adhesive. I know, right? Now, most companies, you sometimes cannot tell unless they are blasting it all over their website whether or not it is double-sided adhesive or not. Very few companies give you the choice between the two on the same painting, and very few again will let you know either way. So both have their advantages and disadvantages. It's my understanding that back in the day, before this craft exploded into the popularity that it is now, that it was all double-sided adhesive. Indeed, I was talking to my good friend Sandra, and she said, you know, when she started 4 or 5 years ago, was it, Sandra? That's all there was. And so people didn't know any better, and of course that's all there was to purchase. And my goodness, how things have evolved. Now, there are those that don't mind working on a double-sided adhesive, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, and if you watch a few unboxings and so on, you will see, indeed I had one myself recently, you will see there are companies that sell exclusively these ones, or you just don't know, and it's until you open the box that it is actually a double-sided adhesive canvas. How do you know the difference? Okay, did you see this clear plastic? Pardon me. Typically, when it's clear like this, your canvas is poured glue, okay? When it is the opaque white cover, that's called double-sided adhesive. Pardon me. There's probably, in my personal opinion, more disadvantages than advantages on the double-sided adhesive. You've got more chance of things going wrong. And if you're new to this craft and you don't want your experience to be marred by trouble and woes and everything from the get-go, I would definitely be seeking out a poured glue canvas to begin with. Pardon me. I've only worked on one double-sided adhesive, and thankfully it didn't give me any trouble. And that was the custom I did of my nephew for his christening and his birthday. If I had my preference, I would work on poured glue. That being said, I have 2 massive canvases that are both double-sided adhesive because I had no choice in the matter with respect to the fact that I wanted them to be in the 200 colours that I chose. And that's the only option I had. So I suck it up, buttercup, and get on with the job. Okay, but if I had a choice, then I definitely wouldn't be opting for it if I don't have to have it. So be aware that there are those 2 types of canvases. Be aware that, as I said, typically speaking, you just need to be a lot more careful with the double-sided adhesive, because if you are rough as guts with it, it will come back and bite you in the bottom. Okay, and it will give you a world of pain, of issues and problems that you will really not make your diamond painting journey or experience a good one. Okay. You can see that on here, I haven't got anywhere else, and I didn't put it out here, so it's not a really good example. But this here is washi tape. Okay, let me get some here. It comes in all sorts of colors and patterns and all the things. Okay, I've got the glitter ones here, and I use this to section off my canvas. Can you see that I'm working in a specific rectangle here? That's because I did a rectangle here, and then I did one down there, and as I move down the canvas, I'm going to do the same again. If you're new to diamond painting, my recommendation is section off your canvas like this. Work within a specific area that is to your liking, your comfortable level. You could have much bigger sections, you could have much smaller sections. Okay, it's whatever works for you. And the reason that that's highly recommended as a technique is that it allows you to work within an area, and when you finish that area, psychologically speaking, okay, it's a great feeling of accomplishment. Okay, I can hear the offspring going upstairs. He's probably going to come downstairs and want some food. Sorry about the interruption there, guys. I think I was talking about washi tape. Pretty sure I was. And sectioning. So you can use your washi tape to also, which I haven't done here, which I should, line the outside of your canvas, because quite often you will get the glue that you think would finish here, but there's always like just a few millimeters over, and you can use washi tape to avoid, yeah, why is this sticky on the wrong side? Woo! That's going out. But just for example, I mean, and some people use washi tape to match their painting, but you just simply do that. See? Simples. And what that does is there's that little layer of glue that's in here. Everything will stick to it, including the fluff from your jumper, hairs, bugs, fur from pets. Oh my gosh, anything and everything. And it just goes black and icky after a while, and it's yuck, disgusting. So there's another thing to think about getting as your time progresses. And you don't have to get fancy washi tape. You can get clear Scotch tape. You know what? That works just as well. Okay. I've rambled on a lot, and like I said, it's probably a little bit different to a lot of, you know, first tip videos that you may have already watched, or so on and so forth. Because, as I said at the start, it is a bit of a retrospective, and, you know, a few just very intentional thoughts put together that I wanted just to put out there and let you know. And I want to just round it off and round it up by saying, you know, don't ever feel like you should be pressured to do anything in this craft. And by that I mean, don't be pressured into completing a painting, or choosing a specific painting, or buying a specific painting, buying an specific accessory. You know, don't ever feel that pressure. You are in control, always. It's a very dangerous minefield to get into, because there can be a sense of peer pressure or so on, and don't allow that to happen to you. Yeah, and if you're feeling any sort of way about that, you know, you tell Gracie, and Gracie will come and, you know, sort it out for you. You need just swim your own lane. Yeah, swim your own lane. I always talk about this being my diamond painting journey. Well, you're just about to embark on yours, and congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Or if you've just started or recently started, and for the veterans that are around, that have been around, you know, longer than me, my hat's off to you, and congratulations. And I look up to you, and I look up to those that are just starting, because I learn from everyone. You know, I learn from everyone, from the person who's just started to those that have been around the longest. You know, and I love that about this craft. I'm forever learning. But yeah, don't ever feel also that you can't change a painting. You know, the paintings are there, and they're all, you know, got their colours and all of that. That's all set out for you. But that's not to say that you can't change a painting to individualise it, to make it your own. I've done that to this. I'll see if I can. I don't know if I can show you properly, but let me bring it up a little. Maybe if I actually turn the camera, that would be helpful. Can you see them? That's the question. this line here, here, all these here. Okay, will it scooch down even more? Or maybe, yeah, hang on. I just want to give you that example. Oof, 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 Gracie. You know why? Because the tripod's sitting on the actual. All right. Now, it looks a bit weirdo to you here in the camera, but what I've done is there are this symbol here. This symbol here is this diamond color here. 3865. Okay, what I've done is I have mixed that up with ABs, which are, where are they? Yeah, 5200. So what I've done is I've put some of these and I've done a 1-to-1 ratio in another one, in another container here. So these are a mixture of the two. See that? And ABs are Aurora Borealis. So again, if you're new to the craft and you hear that terminology being thrown around, ABs or Aurora Borealis, you can see that they've got that extra twinkle and sparkle. See if I put them close together. See how these have got that really extra twinkle? Okay, so all that to say is this symbol here is what I'm using, that mixed container of ABs and normal ones. And I'm changing this painting and individualizing it. Okay, so when I bring you out, essentially what it is this line, when all the diamonds are laid, are going to be the lines, the white lines that are outlining all here. Okay, to give light reflecting. Okay, why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because at the start, do you remember me saying to you about Gracie bling bling? Well, that's my way of saying that's how I enhance a painting, or that's when I'm going to enhance a painting. The how will be a whole separate video as to how I choose that. But you can, your painting that you choose does not have to be set in stone. Now, you may not have a set of, these are all my Aurora Borealis diamonds that I have purchased separately. Okay, I went to my store. The description of where I go, Shoalhaven Sparklies, is in the description below. But there are lots of American sellers as well, US-based sellers that sell these. And you can enhance. That's something that you can do later. But even before you get to that, and you're just starting out, if you see that for whatever reason, like let's say in this cloud here, yes, this is supposed to be a cloud, right? I'll turn the light off. This is a cloud, okay? If you see that for whatever reason, it's been charted with like a black dot in the middle and it looks absolutely ridiculous to you, there is no reason and no rule to say that you can't change that out. So you can individualize it, okay? Don't fuss about not having special ABs or all these things in your crafting arsenal right now. You can still make paintings individual and to your liking, okay? Run your own race, swim your own lane. Don't fuss about what other people are doing. So super important, guys. I can't stress that enough. Don't worry about what other people are doing. You do you. If you stay true to you, you will always enjoy what you're doing. And don't worry about, you know, if someone else has got more than you, less than you. Right. It's not a reflection on anything. And everyone is at different stages of their diamond painting journey. And that's something that's so super important for us all to remember. You know, and I'm not talking from a creator point of view. I'm talking even myself as a diamond painter. We are all at different stages of our diamond painting journey. You might be at day one, about to lay down your first diamond. You might be about to go out tomorrow and buy your first diamond painting, or buy one online tonight or today, whenever you're watching this. Or you might be 5 or 6 years down the track diamond painting. Okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you are running your own race. Okay, don't allow, what I guess I'm saying is, for someone else's opinion or whatever to ruin your experience. Yeah, you're starting this journey because for a reason, whatever that reason may be. Stay true to that reason. Remember what it is that you're starting for, and don't let anyone ruin it for you. Okay. And that, I guess, finishes it off with me saying the most important part of what I've learnt, and what I want to just finish off by saying and reminding everyone in this marathon video is to the most important advice I can ever give anyone who is wanting to start in this craft is have fun. Have fun. Enjoy what you are doing. Okay? And if you're not enjoying it, hopefully I've provided you some hints and tips tonight. Well, it's night for me. I don't know when you're watching it, but hopefully I've provided you some hints and tips as to how to perhaps make it enjoyable. And of course, you know, as I said earlier on, search out YouTube, find out how to better your experience if you're not enjoying it thus far. Okay, feel free to ask me whatever questions down below. If I haven't covered anything specifically, I'm more than happy to help, you know, and answer all questions. Now, I am a bit behind in my comments and replies. I do apologize. The one good thing that I have come to know about my peeps on my channel, though, is that those that have been around for a while and whatever, and even if you've been around for a short while, but you've done a few diamond paintings, I know the peeps on my channel, they'll be more than happy to share and help you out if I don't get to answer you before they may read your comments. So I guess, wow, I hope I didn't blabber too much. I hope I didn't blabber too much and that you may have gotten something out of that whole video. If you did, I'd love to hear from you. Oh my gosh, I've got this random diamond. I'd love to hear from you. Let me just pick this diamond out because I don't know where it belongs. I'd love to hear from you. So, I don't know. I guess, you know, if you've gotten to the end, leave me a little hand emoji, you know, like a hello. And wherever you are in your part of the world, please do look after yourselves, look after each other, have each other's backs, okay? It's so super important. Have an amazing rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week. Thank you once again to my Patreons and those that have bought me a coffee. All those links are down below in the description if you want to check those out. Okay, until I see you next time, I'm going to send you all much love, and ciao for now.